Hello everyone, good morning. So thank you for being patient with me another time that I got the time zones mixed up between New South Wales and Queensland. But as I have mentioned, I just got off a lovely little 10-day holiday on Stradbroke Island for the Island Vibes and Island Elements Festival. And more than anything, it was really an opportunity to reconnect with all the elements, just drop out of tech for a bit and really connect in with the things that are important, like friends and family and, you know, just the elements, being on the beach, being in the sun. It just felt really, I feel completely juiced up, activated and inspired to move forward. So if you're feeling a little weary out there, just remember a camping trip can really sometimes just bring that equilibrium back, being amongst the elements. So I've literally just driven back, haven't unpacked, I've still got sand in my toes and sand in my cards at the moment because I was doing some readings on the beach. So I just felt it really important to, while I was in this momentum, to really bring through and deliver this to you. And I'm excited for a number of reasons. It just feels like on an energetic level a complete reset. And I've also noticed that today, you know how Facebook pops up this time 3 years ago, blah, 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 blah. There was a picture of my first liquid crystal trinity that I offered as a group journey. And I remember very clearly that came through very strongly to make these offerings, and I've been asked to do group journeys again. So I feel like because this one was so successful that I did 3 years ago, I think I ended up getting 33 participants, which was really beautiful, from all over Australia, and also people wanting to connect in from overseas. It can be a little tricky with overseas for postage reasons, but if you are tuning in from across the oceans, please, reach out anyway, because there are ways I can dose you remotely. So I'm going to share that on this crystalline page today. The 3 crystals that were in this trinity were crocite, so really igniting passion and really feeling those inner fires start to rise. Hey, Shanoa, Naomi, good to see you. So this time of year, we're really feeling that rising energy, feeling the heat in the atmosphere, but also that passion of ignition. And I like that word, between initiate and ignite is kind of, there's something in between that when the flame is ignited and you initiate a process. So crocite is really an amazing one to activate a creative process. And then the middle card, again, remembering the middle card is all of what really holds the journey. Hey, I'm seeing your messages here. So garnet was one that I had in the middle there. So that's really aligning to purpose. And that's something that has always been something that I'm really passionate with, helping, assisting people align to, because it's been my greatest passion, is to ask those questions like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, we're not just here to, do the 9 to 5 and the white picket fence thing. There's so much more that we can be offering and sharing our skills. So really aligning to purpose is something that I love journeying with people. So I'm excited to do this trinity again. And thirdly, the carnelian. So it's all really red crystals, all real base, sacral, creative, fiery crystals. So carnelian is all about creation. It's all about really accessing and tapping into that sensual, sexual and creative potency that we have within us. So I will share those details if any of you feel to jump onto a group journey together. I haven't chosen the date yet, but I feel like since it's 3 years to the day, and the last time I did it, I had 33 people, it feels like there's going to be some kind of 3 in there somewhere. Okay, so that's a little bit about that. And I'm also excited because I have a new friend. A beautiful brother showed me these eagle crystals that he's had made. And it just feels so perfect because when I was on Stradbroke Island, I spent a lot of time sitting up on Adder Rock connecting with the eagles. And the eagle is one of my totems, and it's one that feels really an important aspect to embody to get a higher perspective of collective work, which is the way I really like to work, but then also having the ability to really hone in on something like an eagle does when it's soaring high and it sees something it wants to target and it shoots down. So watching them dive down to reach targets is, it's quite a powerful aspect that the eagle shares with us. And the birds on the island were quite, they really captured my attention. I was up at 4:30 every morning listening to the kookaburras, and of course kookaburra connects in with the garnet frequency, the frequency of purpose. So purpose, passion, creativity, that is all rising very strongly right now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes through our cards today with all this energy, momentum, balance of the elements, rising of our internal fires again. So without any further ado, I am going to go ahead and pull some cards for us for this week. So last week we had the emerald, the dolphin energy coming through, which it was really interesting. All the readings I did on the island, it kept on coming through. That dolphin, that deep spiritual healing that emerald delivers, and also the energy of the dolphins, which is that heart joyful space. And a lot of the time, when things are happening on more of our etheric realms, it's not so much about what's happening physically, but when things are happening out here, it's like we've already done the physical legwork to help move dis-ease or disharmony out of the body, and shifting it from the energetics is something that emerald really helps with moving out. So it's a really beautiful heart healing energy that was coming through last week. So this week, I'm curious to see what is going to be shared with us. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, we have a lot of more heart green, beautiful energy. So starting with aquamarine. So aquamarine, as the name suggests, is all about aqua, water, and flow, movement and flow. So that is quite a beautiful opening to this week. So although I've been speaking about the fiery aspects, remembering it's important to have all of the elements balanced, and water and fire together is one that I've often seen come up time and time again as the two primary elements really that can either really put each other out or bring each other into balance. So water over fire creates steam, right? But fire can really make water evaporate, and so the fusion together is quite potent, and it's really inviting us to keep things simple. So the word on this card is simplification. And when you go for a swim in the beautiful aqua waters in the ocean, it's like all of those worries just wash away. And one of the reasons is that water, especially salt water, has a cubic structure, which really kind of cuts out all the crap. And that's why it's so healing. It just restores everything to a cubic balanced state, and also all the turning of the waves is very charging for the electromagnetics, and also in waterfalls and different water sources. So water is meant for moving and for flowing. As soon as there's stagnancy, obviously steps unfolding for the projects you're interested in, but without overcomplicating things, and just to keep things moving forward. Okay, second card is green tourmaline. So this is right in the middle. green tourmaline, it says here enlightenment. So the tourmaline family, all the different colored tourmalines, bring in a lot of light and really flush out the whole system. They really align all the meridians, all the chakras, and just bring in light. And in the case of green tourmaline, it's bringing in that green frequency, which again is a really very much an equalizer and a healer. So it's the flip side of that is when there is a lot of manifest, again, dis-ease or disharmony or imbalance, green tourmaline is really used to just flush it through and bring alignment again. So that's a really beautiful heart energy as well. So with the waters, with that green heart energy, it's all about enlightening or lightening your body, your vehicle, and our planet. Remembering that everything that we do for our bodies, even on a minutely cellular level, we are doing for the whole planet as a macrocosmic representation of what's happening inside our bodies. So obviously we're all manifesting different situations within our lives, within our bodies, within our health, but collectively together we are holding the whole planet. So doing our part to keep us light, enlightening ourselves is really important, but not to be misunderstood with embodiment, because we still want to anchor, bringing ourselves really presence, but we're just enlightening ourselves. Doesn't mean getting enlightened and pissing off and disappearing. That's not what true spiritual practice is about. It's about enlightening this physicality so we can really anchor and welcome the fullness of our being, the fullness of our potential. So the next one we've got is a dream card. So Apophyllite has come up, and you can see there's a slight green tone in here as well, because Apophyllite does come in a few different colors. So green Apophyllite is a bit rarer and quite beautiful, but often you will see Apophyllite as super clear, almost clearer than clear quartz, and often forming in beautiful pyramid structures. So Apophyllite is the shape of those pyramids are kind of I see them as little vehicles, little astral travel vehicles, because it's a stone of astral travel, and it's a stone that connects very much with the dream realms as well. So it's interesting that speaking of that's more of an air element. We've got water and air together, and then the green tourmaline, which really still brings the upper realms and the lower realms together, filtered through the heart. So there's a lot of synergy happening when you see these cards together. There's beautiful greens that go from the waters through the central channel and then up into the ethers. So that really connects in with the eagle again, as I was talking about earlier. Being able to, in dream state, with a meditational state, being able to access a higher perspective or a grander perspective, so that you can choose to hone in. Because when you get caught up in the details, sometimes, you can get really stuck. And I see it time and time again, even for myself. The more we hone in on the finite little details, we can lose sight of the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is always about returning back to feeling and what the feeling is you're wanting to create, rather than what the outcome is, or how things will look. Because we're also hard on ourselves. We want things to be perfect, right? We want every little detail to be right in our lives. But what's important is returning to the feeling, coming up, getting that perspective, and then honing back in again, going macrocosm, microcosm, continually. And if you find yourself spending too much time out in the ethers, out in dreamland, and not actually creating and anchoring and manifesting the world you want, that's no good either, right? So this is still keeping the flow, but getting that perspective. And that's what's being asked of right now this week. So if I'm weaving these cards together, the energies and the collective feeling of this is about keeping things simple, allowing it to flow, So you can really bridge heaven and earth through the heart space, enlightening every aspect of your being and getting a broader perspective before you hone in to focus on what it is you want to create. That's a bit of a long one, but that's just what's coming through right now. So anyone there, if you have any questions or you would like me to pull you a card, give me a wave. I'm more than happy to do that. Looks like we've got a couple of you here at the moment. And get those ready. Oh, there's so many juicy topics and workshops I went to on the weekend. So much I would like to share, and I guess for me, even seeing how I want to create, it's really interesting. I speak through the lens of crystals, through the lens of plants, and through the lens of animals, because that is a lens I'm well versed in. But I really hope, and my intention is that that can translate in a way that makes sense for you in your life. And although we're speaking about crystals here, crystals really are just specific bandwidths and specific frequencies. So remember that when we speak of crystals, it's not just about a rock. It's not just about even the color or the chemical composition. It's a bandwidth. And if you think of something like Apophyllite, for example, because it's so clear, the bandwidth is so huge. So again, the bigger perspective. And then we have the green-blue rays, which is a specific bandwidth. So if this was infrared here, and we've got ultraviolet on the other spectrum, the green bandwidth sits right in the middle. And that's why it's so stabilizing and aligning and equalizing, and it's a real attunement color. And that's why we feel so good when we're in the aqua waters of the ocean, when we're surrounded in greenery in nature, because it brings us back into center. So we're being called to be in that space of flow, center, and broaden the bandwidth, broaden the whole field. And then once you realize what it is you're wanting to create, then you might narrow down specifically. If you are a singer, a musician, a communicator, your bandwidth is going to be more of the blues. If you're someone who works more visually, artistically, creatively, your bandwidth is going to be more indigos and violets. If you're someone who's physically building things, then it might be more of a red bandwidth, for example. But often there is multiple color and bandwidths that we're tuning into, and often there's a pairing that are on either side of the spectrum. So if you're in creation mode, first you need to vision, so indigo violet, and then bring in the sacral orange flame, because the two of them together not only are complementary colors, but they really help both aspects seed forward for creation. Okay, I'm going to pull a card just because I can see you on there for you, Shanoa, and Mum and Naomi, and then I think we'll wrap it up. It's been really lovely to get back into doing these little videos after a little holiday, and I promise next week I'll be on time, 11:11 as always. Okay, so Shanoa, this one's for you. Chaurite. Okay, so this is the bandwidth of vision. So since we've been speaking about a broadening and centering, for you, it's like coming into that vision space where you're really mapping out a path of complete individualization and unique expression that is not about following a path that has been laid out by someone else. This is a real warrior-esque energy. I say that because I think I've mentioned before the animal for Chaurite is the white tiger. It's a tiger-esque energy, and there's that potential for like fierceness and focus, but there's also this beautiful like elusiveness of like stalking and hunting down parts of yourself that are unexpressed. So keep on visioning, keep on expanding the bandwidth tuning your vision so you can really stalk those parts of yourself like a tiger. So you can really like bring that juice forward of who it is at your core and in your own individual way. Hopefully that one makes sense for you. And Naomi, I'm going to do one for you. Sapphire. Got some beautiful indigos and purple. These two together look gorgeous. So Sapphire, you'd know, Naomi, just as much as another practitioner yourself, Sapphire is all about truth, and it's all about also integrity and how you shoulder things, because the articulation point for Sapphire, even though it works very much through the eyes, through the mind, and through the throat, the blue, this whole area of the body, it's also how you can walk forward in your truth and put your shoulders back, remembering the access point is at the left shoulder. So when you're feeling like you're holding a heavy load, it can really bring that feeling which lowers your eyes down. Again, it's like that focusing on what's right in front of you instead of looking up, putting your shoulders back and really seeing what is there for you, and the truth and alignment that is really being evoked and called in and channeled through you right now. So put your chin up, open those beautiful eyes and your shoulders back, and really now is the time to deliver your truth as well, to share through voice, through song, through your sharing your insights. Super important. I'd love to see you doing maybe some shares like this in video, perhaps. Any of you who feel inspired, like I started doing this purely because I saw someone else doing video readings and I thought, wow, that would be really challenging. I'm just going to see what I can come up with on the spot, and I think it really helps to fine tune your trust in self. So yeah, if anyone wants a beautiful massage, Naomi does lovely massages with the liquid crystals, so you can have the massage through your body. So yeah, that's for you, Naomi. And Mum, I'm going to do one for you too. Tiger's Eye. Okay, so this is all about personal power in action. This is about really utilizing your mental faculty and your soul, so your solar plexus. So I've spoken about the connection between the lower worlds and the upper worlds. So when you think about your mind or your what you receive as inspiration might come in directly through your crown, or like that real opening in this area, but this is directly influenced by the solar plexus. And if we're not empowered in our center, we can't really make useful and make manifest the insights and the spiritual, the information that comes through. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of us that have a lot of deep insight, but how that actually fits in our physicality is a whole nother thing. So how can you really embody the power and take action, really move forward? So there's some kind of insight that has been dropping in for you for a while that is wanting to be reached and stepped towards. So this is really like, now's the time. It's time to act on that inspiration. So much love to you all. I'm just going to check that there's no one else I've missed here. Kalia, Kalia. Mel and I are working away. Okay, yes. I can see you all here. Laura, hello. Okay, beautiful. Okay, a couple more. Hope you guys don't mind. This is a long one. So I've got one for Kalia, Mel, and Laura, all the way over in Sedona, Laura. Fantastic. Okay, I'm excited to, I get excited every time I feel my international buddies jump on here. I can just feel those red rocks of Sedona singing through your presence here, Laura. Okay, Kalia, this one's for you, beauty. peach calcite. Oh, I love peach calcite. It's such a beautiful, gentle frequency. So peach calcite is the stone of harmonization, and I think I mentioned a bit about harmonization before, but it's also connected, as I mentioned, to both the crown and the solar plexus, but filtered through the heart. So it's got that beautiful, pale, clear, like calcite itself is the stone of the higher mind. It's the stone of the hawk, like an eagle hawk. So again, like the eagle, it's about having a greater awareness and perspective of the mind, but yet filtering it through the pink energies of the higher heart, not the lower heart, but that expanded energy and the gold that really comes in from source. But also calcite really resonates with the solar plexus and how we digest things. So if anyone's ever got a sore tummy out there, putting a bit of calcite on your belly really helps with tummy upsets, but just digesting changes in life in general. And when you've got a lot of balls in the air and a lot of things happening, it can all be a little overwhelming sometimes. So bringing harmonization to all aspects, bringing harmonization to the messages that are coming through and how your heart feels as well as how your body is digesting. That's what peach calcite really means to me. And it's also, as you know, one of the stones that sits in the space in between spaces. So this is quite an interdimensional space as well of transition. So yeah, transition times, being gentle with yourself, listening to your guidance, feeling your heart, and just allowing things to yourself to draw the nourishment of what's around you and let go of what's not. And I'm so glad I did the scrolly thing, because I always never work out how these Facebook messages roll, which direction they roll in. Okay, Mel. Oh, we've got a jumping card. This is an exciting one. Pyrite. Pyrite, one of my buddies, one of my old-time favorites, because this is all about the spark of life. And this really comes to us when we've got an idea, an inspiration, and it's all systems go. So if there's something that you've been thinking about and wondering, should I, shouldn't I? This is a yes. This is a boo, yeah, let's do it. Because you have all the keys and codes to make this manifest, this idea that's coming through. And it starts as a spark, but will grow into a flame. Without pyrite, we would not have fire. We would not have evolved to the state that we are now without pyrite. Iron pyrite, you know, if you throw them or bang them together on a rock, it creates sparks. So sparks, you know, from that spark, it's that when you get that light bulb moment, that's the pyrite energy. So I often use these as ways of like activating, alivening, and kind of jump starting the system. If your system's been feeling a bit sluggish and a bit, yeah, just a bit flat, using pyrite, especially with hematite, is like putting jumper leads on your car. So on your whole system, it's like, so this is a good sign. It's a good one for you, Mel. And Laura, this one's for you. Tanzanite. Beautiful. So this Tanzanite is another stone that actually hangs out in the same realm as pyrite. Up in the monad, or in the top of the tree of life, there are 7 crystals that really hold the presence of divine unity and of wholeness and of completion and completeness. But Tanzanite really is about the messengers, being a messenger. It says angelic messenger on that card, and whether that resonates with you, you know, sometimes the words do or don't, but the main thing here is that you are open to receive messages direct from spirit, and I know that about you anyway. So this is a really gorgeous frequency that is like a lilac color that really blends that mind and heart together. So really bringing balance between the heart-mind connection, so you can be the clearest channel for insights that are coming through direct from source and through guides that you work with. So this is telling me that there is information coming through to you to pay specific attention to right now, and how you share that may be about to change. Like even if you do share in a specific way, just open yourself to other channels in which you can share the information that comes through. So whether it's writing, speaking, voice recording, video recording, just finding a channel to allow these messages to move through. So I hope that all was useful, inspiring, and helpful for you all. And I'm really looking forward to putting the information about this Trinity that I'm going to do as a group journey again. So what that really means is if you're keen, if you're interested, you'll get access to some video content about each of those crystals. And I've got a Facebook group specific for this Trinity of people who've journeyed through it. And I'll also make up this Trinity and post them to you. So I'll put more information about this coming up really soon. And I hope you all have a gorgeous day out there. Much love.